We're going to go without the podium tonight, fellas. Is that all right? We good with that? Okay. I got a few housekeeping notes to get through before getting a chance to tell a handful of stories to you and talk about my journey of being a man for others. First, I was late tonight. Don't ever be late when you're giving a keynote speech. However, it was for good reason. As Father referenced, I'm CEO of Athletics for USF, and our basketball team just won the conference championship. We've been playing let's hear it. We've been playing basketball for 56 years at the University of South Florida, and that was our second ever conference championship. So when I got here late, I don't know, maybe it's the way I was wired as a student, I felt like I needed to defend myself to Father and show him the piece of net that I just cut down so that I didn't get a PH. Father, to his credit, says to me, "Hey, I believed you." And then I was just thinking to myself, I actually just wanted to show you the piece of net, Father. So, I'm really proud. I'm really proud. The other thing that is super awkward is me standing in front of a room of Jesuit Tigers in a green and white suit. Okay, so that ties back to the celebration as part of it. This is USF green. It's not that other horrendous, horrific green that we all know and disdain. Okay? And then the third thing that I'll say before I share with you a handful of stories, I saw one of my great classmates back, class of 96. We got our 30th reunion coming up, Hector Rivera over here, and he referenced the last time I had a chance to speak at Convocation, and that he got a kick out of the fact that when they posted it to YouTube, it was heavily edited down. So I'm really excited to see how much this gets edited down based off of some of the things that I may say that are both appropriate and inappropriate for apparently the Jesuit Tiger social media. So I'm going to do my absolute best to keep it above board and have some fun tonight. We are going to talk about my journey of being a man for others. It has been a lifelong passion of mine. When I think back, whether it was through middle school and at Jesuit and then at USF as a student, I always tried to find ways to be able to help others. And then immediately after graduating from USF, I had the opportunity to work in the athletic department. I helped run their facilities and event management. What that meant was basically helping lead a variety of their different sports when it comes to our home events, whether it be football, men's basketball, volleyball, and then baseball. And when I think about being a man for others, there's a story from my baseball days of helping lead those events that comes to mind. So one of those things, when you're out at a college baseball event, they can take a tremendous amount of time because the players and coaches get there 4 hours before first pitch. And it is a long day. And I have attention issues to begin with, so I always had to find ways to be able to occupy my time and try to help others. And so one of the ways that I could do that was whenever there was a foul ball that was way away from our dugout, I would go chase it down and bring it back as part of it. So a lot of times I would be up the right field line. And there was one game in particular, I'll never forget it. There was a right-handed hitter that was in the batter's box, and I was watching just with my hands up on the fence, waiting to see how that batter did. And all of a sudden, the pitch comes through, the batter takes a big swing at it, and he hits an absolute rocket that is right at me, okay? And it's this hooking ball. And just pure instinct. I mean, we're not talking about seconds to decide what to do. You have milliseconds when the ball comes off the bat like that. So I immediately turn and start running curve like this. And this ball is chasing me. And it drills me in the back of the head. And I go face down in the dirt. I'm fairly certain I was out cold. Here I was just trying to help the team, chase down the balls, maybe save a few bucks so that we didn't give away every ball that we own as part of it. And it takes me about 30 seconds or so, maybe a minute. I have no idea because, I think I'm probably out cold. And I finally come to my senses, and I start to stand up. The whole place was dead silent. Everybody in the crowd, I mean, they're just making sure, hoping that I'm okay. And so I get up and I dust all the dirt off me. And as soon as our team sees that I'm all right and there's nothing wrong with me, they start chanting, "Ugly finder, ugly finder." You guys, that's classic. It was like an absolute awesome time. And only my buddies on the baseball team, when I am almost out conscious, would be able to come up with that on such short notice. And from there, I really wondered, hey, is helping others maybe what it's meant to be as part of it? Then, as I fast forward through life, I get the job with the Sports Commission, and I'm recruiting events all over the country as part of it. I end up at a conference tournament where we are bidding on that event. We're doing everything we can to recruit it to our community. And I see, as I'm waiting on the bus to go to the arena, I'm standing there and I see a family that is looks like they want to take their picture. So I say, "Can I help you take your picture?" And I stand over here and I take their picture. And a bus that's going probably 20 miles an hour comes and hits me in the back of the head, exactly where the ugly finder baseball got me, okay? And I go to my knees. I think I'm out unconscious again. At that point, too, we were bidding on a couple of years of that event. I end up getting in the media shuttle and go to the arena. And the leader of that event met me at the arena as part of it. And he's like, "All right, what year do you want?" They knew if I was going to get hit by a bus, maybe it was worth getting us one of the events. I said I wanted them both. We only got one of them. But it ended up being an awesome win for us. So there it was, another chance for me just organically to try to help somebody where no good deed goes unpunished, and I got hurt because of it. Then I fast forward to last July. We got the call and the diagnosis that nobody wants to get. My dad, who's with us here tonight, we find out that he had cancer. And I will be the first to tell you, young man, that there's times in life where maybe you don't feel as connected to your dad, but when you get that call, you want to do anything and everything you can to help him. So I go to his first oncology appointment, and they're talking about what his family history is. And they talk about, how maybe it has run in the family. And I'll tell you, it started to worry me personally as part of it. All I was doing was trying to be there for my dad. And little did I know, I had this weird premonition that a week later, I too would find out that I had cancer. And my dad and I went on this father-son journey that is truly unimaginable. I would go through radiation as part of it, and I'd walk out the waiting room, and he'd be sitting there waiting for his. It brings a lot of perspective to you really fast when something like that rocks and hits a family. There was a quote that I would lean into as I'd be laying there and getting radiation, and it was that adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. And that's one thing that I think helped me get through that journey. The fact that maybe it's not a situation where you've got to face these tough, difficult challenges alone. Those are things that, quite frankly, they're going to reveal the high character that you have. I do want to give a round of applause for my dad, Jack Higgins, who's here tonight. As Father mentioned, class of 67. Let's give him a round of applause. Only my dad would take the victory lap and give the entire room the salute. I love it. But I bring up those three stories for a reason. Look, you're at Jesuit High School, or you're a parent at Jesuit High School because you're a man for others. That's the 1.0. The 2.0 is being a man for others is not always going to be easy. Okay? There's going to be times where you are trying to help others and adversity will hit. Sometimes it's in the form of a baseball upside the head. Sometimes it's in the form of a bus. And I don't wish upon anybody the unimaginable journey of the C word. But no matter what happens, no matter what adversity strikes when you're trying to help others, it's so important to be unwavering in that mission. Let me say that again. It's so important as men for others to be unwavering in that mission. There's never a wrong time to do the right thing. When you have a chance to help others, when you have a chance to make a moment in somebody's life, when you have a chance to do something really little that could end up being significantly big for them, even if it may be a hard thing to do, make sure you do it, because you never know where it will lead. Through each of those different journeys, while I was giving from an unsolicited side of things with no expectation in return, through each of those three specific stories, I can tell you it was always darkest before the dawn. Each one of the losses I've had in my life was always followed by the biggest win. And with that in mind, I am so excited to share with you that both my father and myself are totally cancer-free. Thank you for the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you tonight. Can't wait to see YouTube. I feel like there's not going to be a lot of edits. We kept it above board, didn't we, fellas? We kept it above board. But thank you also to all the sons for making time for your dads, to all the dads for making time for your sons. It means a lot. And as always, go Tigers and go Bulls.